What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a very big day as we are finally getting new information about what Microsoft and Xbox have been cooking up via their Xbox Developer Direct that is scheduled to release in just a couple minutes now. Now, before the showcase begins, I wanted to do a quick run through of what I think and what I'm expecting we'll be able to see and what we will see from today's showcase. So kicking things off, briefly, one of the things that I'm expecting to see is definitely new information about their upcoming Indiana Jones game. This is obviously, I think, one of the things that they're probably either going to kick off the showcase with or they're going to end with. But this is a game that has been shrouded in mystery ever since it was announced. The only thing we really know about it is that it exists and it's being worked on. Outside of that, no new details, no gameplay or anything. Today might be the day that we get some new gameplay and information about this game. I don't think they'll go as far as give a release date. If they really wanted to pop off and if the game was ready, I mean, hey, a release date would be awesome. But given the fact that we haven't seen any new information or any gameplay about it, I doubt it's, in the process of development. I doubt that they're that far along. Outside of a big reveal like Indiana Jones, we may get more information, more gameplay, probably about their upcoming Obsidian Entertainment's upcoming project, Avowed. That's another game that I think a lot of people have been excited about. Obsidian has a strong fan base due to the previous work, and so Avowed definitely gives me kind of Elder Scrolls 4 vibes, Oblivion vibes, a little bit of Skyrim. Definitely a game that's right up my alley. I'm always up for a new fantasy game, so it seems like it's going to be a good one. And then, of course, there are other games that I'm hoping that we'll get new information about, but I think Indiana Jones is definitely the one I'm expecting to see. Another big game that you probably will see new information, maybe even some gameplay about, would be Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which I think is a game that, we saw a couple weeks ago back at the Game Awards. We've seen information and some teasers about it this time last year, I believe, with their last Developer Direct. So, yeah, we probably could see some more information about that, but outside of that, Indiana Jones, Avowed. We may even be in store for a potential shadow drop. I don't know. There's been teases of it that a shadow drop is coming. And given the fact of what happened this time last year when we got shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Microsoft could have something up their sleeve to get their people really talking today. So yeah, outside of that, guys, I think this is going to be a great showcase. With, between Avowed, Indiana Jones, Hellblade 2 coming out this year, I think Xbox actually has some good stuff lined up on the docket. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the developers are cooking up. I always love a good direct, whether it's Nintendo, PlayStation, or Xbox. I just love hearing and finding out about new games. So this is going to be our time to do that. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it afterwards. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy the content, be sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new here for more news-related content. And without further ado, let's get into the showcase. All right, here we go. Let's see what Xbox has in store for the people. Direct from the devs. Oh, so they're really talking about 4 specific games. Now, this showcase is supposed to be, I think, 48 minutes or so. Let's go, dude. Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones, Avowed, and Aura.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. I'm so proud to share with you our upcoming fantasy action RPG, Avowed.
Yes!
Avowed is an adventure into the heart of the living lands, a frontier at the edge of the known world, where you must put a stop to a mysterious spiritual plague and discover a secret at the heart of the living lands. At Obsidian, we love creating worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity.
Dude, we need a Fallout New Vegas
And Avowed is
remake.
no different.
For sure.
We set out to blend the believable and fantastical to give players a world and experience like no other. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's strange. It's one of the most incredible settings in the world of Aora. There's going to be a lot of great secrets to discover, one of which has a really personal connection to you as the player character, and you're going to have a great time getting to know those secrets and leaving your mark on the world. And when it comes to encounters, our combat brings the best of the moment-to-moment fun that comes with action-oriented gameplay and the depth and breadth of choice that you get with
Oh, you could dual spell cast. Holy hell.
Talk more about Avowed's combat is Gabriel Paramo.
Let's go, dude. That's sick.
Here at Obsidian, our team's overarching goal is to empower you with choice. So we developed a flexible combat system that allows you to quickly swap from spellcasting and sharpshooting to melee combat. We want to give you the freedom to mix and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play from moment to moment, uninterrupted. For all battles, you can combine a variety of weapons, attacks, and abilities for tactical advantages against a wide range of enemy types.
Dude, a wand
Not
and a
attacking
shield?
Slashing. You're making real-time decisions about when to use your abilities, powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries, and special attacks.
Yo, that's
If you choose
tough.
to approach combat with a one-handed wand, it feels quick and snappy when dealing damage to enemies at mid-range. Using the Tanglefoot ability, you can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or tougher combatants in an intentional and controlled manner. It's important to pay attention to the types of enemies you're dealing with. Some units are extremely defensive, some are brutishly difficult, and others you must make sure you prioritize or their healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot. To help with the different encounters you will face, we provide customizable loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. That means you can play however you want. Equip a sword and shield and charge into battle. Dual-wield pistols and control the encounter mid-range.
That's
Or even
tough.
Dual-wield wands to feel like a gunslinging mage.
Dude, I'm definitely trying to
You could
dual
use
wield
your enchanted
wands.
wand to freeze enemies, and then use your offhand weapon's power attack to shatter them. We've worked hard to keep you constantly engaged as battles unfold by creating a balance between pressure and manageability during combat.
Players will have ample choices for how to build and progress their envoy in the world of the Living Lands as they get to know the game and the story and explore the many diverse regions. Some quests in Avowed will have you make difficult decisions with profound consequences, like this side quest you may encounter in Shatterscarp, the third region you'll explore on your journey through the Living Lands. As you're exploring, you come across the bodies of these fallen soldiers, and as you explore the remains of the battle, it's up to you to determine who, if anyone, is at fault.
Just
Interesting.
the four of us. Manu, Kiri, Naoki, and me. Training under Captain Ruiki. Trying to keep Thirdborn safe.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here. Take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought and died for them.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems. We embrace moral nuance and gray areas, trusting players to make tough decisions in complicated situations.
My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't say out loud. So what did he tell you? That Captain Ruiki was sick? That I was paranoid? That I was a dumb baby? I heard it all often and loudly. Wait, if you found Sergeant Asui, why is he not here with you? What happened?
At the end of the quest, you have a choice. When you confront Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you, you can hand over the badges and let him go back home.
You're right. Real battle isn't something you can prepare for, is it? It's not my fault. No, they should have never have camped in the cave. I'll take the badges. I'm going back to Thirdborn.
But if you confront him, if you believe that he fled the site of the battle as an act of cowardice, then he might challenge you to a fight to reclaim his honor.
And we could put him in the
Way,
dirt.
When you return to town, you'll see the consequences of your actions and the choices you made during this quest. Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build. Art director Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual style.
From the outset, we knew that we wanted Avowed setting to feel rich, weird, and wonderful. We found inspiration in a wide swath of real-world cultures.
Some nice-looking
helping us
environments.
create a unique RPG experience. By contrasting the vibrant with the dull, or verdant spaces with sickly ones, we can better deliver complex emotional experiences for our players. The Living Lands is a continent of untamed valleys with widely varied biomes, from luxuriant forests to volcanic wastes, and each of those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. All of the regions have a lot of special things associated with them, but I have a deep place in my heart for Shatterscarp. As you're wandering the wastes of Shatterscarp, you might notice off in the distance a vibrant jewel of color. By transitioning from destitute, muted tones of a wasteland of sand and marching in towards a beautiful oasis, there's the opportunity there for life, for adventure, and even a little danger.
I wonder if there's any snowy areas. I love a good
We
snow
hope you
section.
enjoyed this look at Avowed. We're thrilled to share more about the game in the coming months, and we can't wait for you to explore the Living Lands when Avowed launches this fall.
Okay, so about what we could have expected. Like, definitely didn't assume that. I didn't assume that we would get a release date or anything, but, you know, we got a little more gameplay, a little bit more about the environments, and, yeah, I mean, you know, it's not terrible. Definitely not terrible. I think the game looks promising. It has a lot of those elements that I would want in a fantasy RPG. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Okay, fall 2024, so probably, October, I would say, if I had to guess. What did you guys think about that, though? Obsidian, new information about Avowed. We got a bit of a tighter release window. Yeah, I would say that's a win. That's a win. Yes, Ninja Theory, Hellblade 2.
Hi, I'm Don Matthews, studio head here at Ninja Theory in Cambridge, UK. We're now in the final months of development on Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and the team is working hard to bring you an unforgettable journey into Senua's unique world and her battle for survival.
Dude,
We
I
have
can't wait
once
about
again
this game.
combined high fidelity and immersive presentation with a shorter, narrative-led experience that focuses on the things that we really care about, and that we hope you care about too.
Do you see how strong you are? Do you see how the pitiless world stamps you down?
Senua is back with a new quest. She wants to stop the Vikings who raided her village right at their source, in Iceland. But not just her quest has changed. Senua herself has grown since the first Hellblade. She's made peace with her past and is no longer in such fear of her visions and voices. While the Furies are still her constant companions, she encounters new people along the way, some of which will value her unique perspective, and others who will reject it.
Little by little, this settlement became my tribe.
Y'all, this game looks phenomenal.
In the game, Senua arrives in 10th century Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point, establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top. Senua will face up to giants who have plunged the land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover. Senua will make new enemies and also new allies who will come to see her unique perspective as a beacon of hope. And she'll discover, along with us, how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
Dude, it looks so intense. I mean, the first one is obviously really
Senua
intense,
is a
but
Celtic warrior who experiences psychosis, seeing things that other people don't, hearing voices, and having unique beliefs about the world around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher, at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It's terrifying.
Players will find themselves traversing beautiful and hostile environments, seeking answers from patterns and signs that Senua sees in her own unique way, and battling through encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
On Saga, we've taken everything to
Dude,
the
that's
next level.
intense.
With a new motion capture space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
We spent a lot of time planning the motion capture shoots, thinking of what events would be good to bring into this fight. Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel.
I could see the actress who,
One of our key goals was the ability to actually tell a story throughout it.
who voices the character. I feel
Does
like
feel
I could
very
see
different
a
from
best
the first
performance
one, but it's
nomination at the
very
Game
brutal
Awards.
and you're very invested in it. Senua isn't a superhero. She's fighting for survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle in every step of her journey. We want the player to always feel like they just scraped through, just survived it.
Yeah, I love that.
Mel knows Senua better than anyone, better than I do. Her instincts are amazing, and she really doesn't need much help from me. On stage, our main focus is storytelling. So I get to watch the actors and see all the beautiful expressions on their faces. And then I have to wait a little while, and then I get to see that all again, in-game, in costume, on location, everything. It's a great experience, a great process.
Every discipline in the studio is unified in achieving a deep level of immersion. to
Dude,
help
look how
suspend your
gorgeous this
disbelief
game
and
looks.
pull you into Senua's story.
I feel like being like a mocap
We were
actor
lucky enough
would
to
be
do
so
a few
sick.
Reference gathering trips in Iceland. You have to be there. The sense of scale, everything is incredible. And you see a scene or you see a small section of the game, and you're like, "Yeah, that works. That's amazing."
Senua experiences reality differently, and a part of this manifests in the voices she hears.
She will collapse. She will collapse.
These voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides a good representation of this type of auditory hallucinations. As we focus in immersion, binaural audio is perfect for this because through headphones, you surround yourself in a three-dimensional space. In the first game, we only applied to the voices that Senua listens in her head. In this game, through a spatial audio technology and some extra little things within the game, there is music that is binaural. Every single sound has the potential to be binaural, so everything is spatialized around you, and it's a very beautiful experience.
Dude, imagine hearing voices like all around you as you're going through the game.
Music is a strange language in the sense that it speaks to our emotions fast and deep. It's not only about quality, it's about personality. So when you listen to Hellblade, you know it's Hellblade. On the music, we are working with Heilung, which for me is a personal privilege because I really admire them. We feel their craft.
Yeah, that performance
their
at the
depth,
Game
their
Awards
meaning in
was
the music.
incredible.
It really connects with our game and elevates it to something really special. We are also working with a heavy metal singer, throat singers, and our very own Furies. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
That's pretty cool.
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is to craft life-changing art with game-changing tech. And that's our aim in Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, is to not only see where Senua goes next, but to deliver something really meaningful for our players.
My hope is that they will really connect to Senua as a character, and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character and they can then understand that person better.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but in a way I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of our work, through every ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are creating this character that grows and grows and grows and grows and keep growing and keep changing. So that makes it real.
I'm so proud of the love, care, and passion our team here at Ninja Theory are putting into Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Our hope is to not only create a game that is great to play, but to craft an experience that leaves you thinking and feeling. From our combat gameplay through to our action set pieces, from our cinematic scenes to our puzzle solving, everything is crafted in service of Senua's journey. A journey that you can embark on May 21st.
Oh, May 21st! Holy hell, dude! Oh my gosh. Okay, so we were expecting that there was going to be a release date, right? We knew it was going to be 2024. Incredible to know exactly when it is dropping. That is huge. May 21st. Wow. I'm calling it now. I truly feel like that could potentially be a Game of the Year contender. Just from what we've seen. Sometimes you can just call your shot. You know what I mean? You just know. Square Enix. Square Enix. Interesting. This was not. I told you guys there was going to be some surprises. We were going to get teased with something that we didn't expect. This might just be it.
Greetings, Xbox players. My name is Masaru Oyamada, producer for the Mana series here at Square Enix. 聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの情報を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにいち早くお伝えできる機会をいただけて大変光栄です。コンソールゲームとしては約17年ぶりとなる聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作。聖剣伝説シリーズは1991年にファイナルファンタジー外伝として誕生して以降、
Secret of Mana。
聖剣をめぐって描かれる愛をテーマに、個性豊かなキャラクターたち、心に響く楽曲の数々、武器の特性を生かして戦うアクション RPG としてこれまでに17作発売され長らく愛されてきました。本作は
Yeah, they made a lot of titles. I need to get back into the Mana series. It's been too long.
聖剣伝説としての世界をしっかり感じられるものを目指して鋭意制作中です。フィールドでは自然や精霊とのつながりを感じられる色彩豊かな聖剣伝説の世界を体験してもらえると思い
Dude,
ます。
this looks stunning.
シリーズおなじみのモンスターたちも本作に登場しています。今回これらのおなじみのモンスターたちを作り出した聖剣伝説の生みの親である石井浩一さんとともに聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの内容を紹介していきたいと思います。
Hello, I am Koichi Ishii from Gretz. I am so happy to introduce the newest game in the Mana series to Xbox players. 初期の頃からシリーズ作品に登場しているモンスターたちは私が考案したものですが、中には小学生の頃すでにイメージができていたものもあります。今作では初めはドット絵からスタートしたモンスターたちをどのような形で最新化して聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナに落とし込むか、デザインの方向性からモデルの完成イメージまでを監修する立場でプロジェクトに参加しました。聖剣伝説ファイナルファンタジー外伝を作っていた頃から自分の頭の中ではモンスターたちは立体的に生き生きと動いて、これまで自分が携わった作品ではそれらをどうやって当時の技術で表現できるかにこだわって作ってきました。最新作では聖剣伝説のモンスターたちのただ可愛いだけではなく恐ろしさの部分もしっかりと表現できているので、バトル中はモンスターたちの表情にも注目してください。
これまで聖剣伝説シリーズには空を旅する海を渡る手助けをしてくれる頼もしい仲間たちがいましたが、今作には広大なフィールド探検に欠かせない新たな仲間が登場します。
Oh, you got mounts.
陸上を猛スピードで駆け回ってくれるピックル。ピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています。
新たな仲間を考えるにあたっては、今作のマスコットキャラクターになるくらい可愛い動物にしたいという漠然とした思いがありました。その上でヨークシャテリアの毛並み、見た目はアルマジルによく似た仙山港や古代エジプト神のアンビ
It's
ス
such
の
an
子供といった
imagination. An armadillo mixed with a Yorkshire Terrier.
それぞれの特徴を取り入れながらラフデザインを書き起こしました。デザイナーにもアイデアを出してもらいながら 足の長さや丸まった時のイメージなど、ゲームの中での見え方も考えながら調整を重ねていき、ピックルは誕生しました。
Yo, it's a beautiful world.
もう一つの挑戦は楽曲面です。過去さまざまなコンポーザーが携わられた楽曲の雰囲気が感じられつつも、最新作として素晴らしい新たな楽曲が生まれました。 BGM でもしっかり聖剣伝説シリーズらしさを感じてもらえると思います。過去シリーズの楽曲を手掛けたクリエイターたちが全100曲という大ボリュームの制作に挑んでくれました。新たな試みとしてフィールドの探索からバトルまでをシームレスに体験できるよう、今作ではインタラクティブミュージックを導入しており、冒険の没入感を高めてくれます。探索中の BGM がバトルに入った瞬間、アレンジが切り替わる様を実際に聞いてみましょう。
Dude, how can a game be so adorable? I don't know.
今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。
The combat looks fluid
バ
though.
トルの鍵となっており、
Almost gives Kingdom Hearts
だけで
vibes.
なく魔法での攻撃も可能になっています。そして本作ならではの特徴として、聖剣伝説シリーズではおなじみの精霊たちがいますが、その力を宿した武器を使うとバトルを手助けしてくれるようになります。精霊によっては様々な特性の違いがありますので、その効果とともに聖剣伝説の世界らしい不思議な力で爽快なバトルを楽しんでいただけます。
Sick.
オリジナルモンスターやピックリにも注目してほしいのですが、聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナは聖剣伝説らしさを感じてもらえる作品になるよう、小山田君を中心にチームのみんなが頑張って作ってくれていますので、ぜひ発売日を楽しみに待っていてください。私自身もプレイするのを楽しみにしています。
聖剣伝説シリーズとして初めて Xbox ユーザーの皆
First
さん
time
に
the
お
Mana
届けする
series is
本作
releasing on
聖剣伝
Xbox.
説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナは今後も様々な情報をお届けしていきますので、ぜひご期待ください。この夏、この忘れられない冒険を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんに楽しんでいただける日が今から待ちきれません。
This summer. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a big W for Xbox players. First Mana game to release on Xbox. I think they usually release on Nintendo and PlayStation, right? Typically. They're definitely gonna save Indiana Jones for the end. This we know for sure.
Hello, and welcome to Oxide Games. We founded the studio in 2013 with our decades of personal experience building some of the most beloved strategy games of all time, like Civilization V. We came together to create something new and innovative in a genre we all love. Ara History Untold is the game we've dreamt of making.
Ara is an homage to historical gamers, strategy gamers, 4X gamers. It features all the depth and gameplay fans of this genre love, where you'll explore the world, expand your nation, govern your people, and engage with your rivals on the international stage.
Have you guys ever played one of these? I've never played like a Civilization type game before.
Notions about the genre, push it forward in a modern, empowering, and truly compelling and approachable way.
For example, we have over 100 instruments on display in the office, which are all things that we purchased in order to add to the soundtrack and expand the game and make it really good. Hi, Dan. That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been an amazing process to see from concept to completion. We started small, building a robust game engine, questioning our design assumptions, and prototyping out features, rediscovering what made us fall in love with strategy games in the first place.
The end
So it's a
result
strategy
is
game.
the historical
I mean,
grand strategy
it looks
game
pretty
that
good.
presents a living world where you can rule how you want to rule and chart your own path to becoming the most prestigious nation on the planet.
I'm always open to
For
try
Aura,
like a
we
new
knew we
genre
needed
too,
deep
you know.
systems with outcomes that encourage exploration and give players the power to experiment and make meaningful strategic choices while still having agency over their playstyle.
We also wanted to explore more in different parts of history and give players from around the world the chance to see the game reflect their unique perspective and not just ours.
And finally, we knew that for players to feel the impact of their decisions, they would need to see their choices reflected in the game world itself, not just through numbers on a menu. One of the first differences you'll see when you dive into Aura is what we call the living world. It's a procedurally generated alternate Earth, bursting with life, an intuitive, authentic, and immersive space, a blank canvas for players to paint the society of their dreams.
The living world isn't just a map, it reflects the choices players make over the course of the game. They can see everything from the settling of the wilderness to cultural influence on architecture over time,
Nice.
to thousands of citizens living their lives and reacting to the changes. We want players to feel like they're truly occupying the world, leading their people as they thrive and grow. Core to the vision of Aura is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule. And no feature better exemplifies this than the prestige system.
To win a game of Aura, players will compete with their rivals to build the most influential, impressive, and important nation the world has ever known. This is measured by prestige, the player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
The prestige system gives players the chance to decide what kind of leader they want to be. Do they want to pursue great works of arts and culture? Military might? Scientific advancement? The choice is theirs.
That's pretty cool.
In Aura, there are no set victory conditions. Players get to decide what is most important to them and focus and prioritize on those goals while still being able to win the game.
Personally, when I play Aura, I like to build triumphs. Triumphs are our collection of incredible monuments and architectural achievements from throughout human history. Like the Great Pyramid of Giza. They're hard to build, but worth it, giving huge prestige bonuses and game-changing abilities to the nation that constructs them.
Another aspect of Aura that I'm personally excited about is our crafting system.
The crafting system offers a unique challenge to the player that they generally won't see often in the 4X genre. Succeeding at balancing, gathering the right things, turning them into the tools that you need, and then finally getting to the outcome or reward of something like an important improvement or triumph just changes the challenge that exists in Aura compared to other 4X games.
Crafting plays out in Aura at a national scale, with players honing and combining the natural resources they harvest into all manner of goods and components. Those are the foundation for everything, from international trade to improving their cities and citizens' lives, and even manufacturing the weapons necessary to draft military units. The crafting
Man,
system in
these
Aura
games are
encourages
like
thoughtful,
complex.
advanced planning.
I don't even know
It rewards
how to
players
like.
who can see the
I don't know if I have the
strategic
brain
outcome of
power
all their
to
collected decisions, and
process
not
this.
just the individual ones.
I'm proud of the work that's gone into our simultaneous turn system. Many strategy games have players alternate taking turns and reacting to their opponent's moves. In Aura, all players' actions are resolved at the same time. This rewards players' ability to navigate uncertainty, to predict and strategically plan for a variety of scenarios in the moment. This system makes Aura just feel more real. In a typical strategy game, once your turn is finished, you have to wait for a long time. With simultaneous turns, generally speaking, those times are very low. You get to keep playing the game and stay engaged rather than having those periods of downtime where you're not doing anything.
It's not easy sifting through all of history and picking what to include. For Aura, we wanted to offer a fresh perspective, so we looked at cultures and societies throughout the millennia with the broadest lens possible.
Where this approach really shines is in our leaders. Leaders are so
I love the
often
character
seen as
designs.
military personnel or prominent government figures, but leaders come in so many different forms. They're thought leaders, scientific and cultural prodigies, and many more.
Each leader in Aura has a number of special abilities determined by their personality traits, as well as a powerful and unique leader trait informed by their contributions to world history.
With a diverse global roster, we know players will find leaders that they will want to play. And even a few that may surprise them with how fun it is when those leaders are handed the reins of power.
For us at Oxide, player feedback is the only way to really understand what you're making. It gives us that priceless perspective from the people we're making Aura for, you.
Building the game alongside real players has given us that critical player feedback. In the end, we believe this makes for a deeper connection between the players and the game.
One of my favorite examples is when we first introduced the concept of dangerous wildlife to the game. It turns out, in our first iteration, it was maybe a little bit too aggressive or disruptive. We knew we should probably make a change when one of our insiders made a forum post that was just,
Cougars, cougars,
Cougars, I hate cougars!
"Someone get these feline demons away from me." I'm happy to report, based on more recent feedback, that I think we ended up in a good place with the overall threat level of mountain lions to a player's citizenry.
It's been years of hard work to bring you a strategy experience like no other. And we're so excited that we can finally see the finish line. We can't wait for players to get their hands on the game later this year.
But the launch of ARA is only the beginning. We are going to maintain our insider program after the release date and continue to listen to players and support the game into the future.
On behalf of everyone at Oxide Games, thank you for joining us today. We can't wait for you to play ARA and to create your own history.
That's pretty cool. Fall 2024. So another game that is, I mean, Xbox definitely has, they got quite a few hits coming out this year. Between this and obviously Hellblade 2 and of course the Avowed comes out in the fall. They got 2 games coming out in the fall. Visions of Mana coming out in the summer. And who knows if we'll get any sort of details about the upcoming Indiana Jones game.
Hej och välkommen till Uppsala, Sverige, här hos Machine Games. We are really excited to finally be able to share our work on Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, baby!
Since the first film came out, Indiana Jones has always represented the ultimate adventure. Even today, it's one of the most iconic franchises in pop culture. In this game,
no pressure.
You aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones. You will see through his eyes and experience a journey that we hope lives up to the proud legacy of Indiana Jones. When Todd Howard first told us about his vision for the game, we knew we would be a very good fit to help bring it to life.
I've wanted to make an Indiana Jones game forever. I
Todd
had
Howard.
this idea for what it would be like.
The man, the
story,
myth.
What Indy was going after, what period of his life it was in, what kind of arc he was going to have. And as the years went on, I thought, who would be like the best studio in the world to make this? And it was my friends at Machine Games. I can remember pitching Lucasfilm on the game and being, a little bit nervous because, look, it's, Indiana Jones, and their response was just overwhelmingly positive, and just that excitement has bled through the whole project, and they have just been so trusting and supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've been a fan of this my whole life, and I couldn't be more excited to show you what the team here has been up to. Let's take our first look at the new Indiana Jones game.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. First look.
Tell you what you are missing, Dr. Jones. While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you. You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
Wow, they really got him to look like the GOAT. That's pretty cool. I didn't know if they were gonna go with like a completely different character model. But going with Harrison Ford, it's a bold move.
History. Just different ways to interpret the past.
Is it first person?
Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs, scattered and buried.
It's an interesting choice. I always imagined third person.
To be found.
You can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me.
Interesting.
Throughout history, mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you get a perfectly aligned circle.
The music. So it looks like it's going to transition from first person to third person.
I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me, it ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I can keep up?
I never would have imagined a first-person Indiana Jones game.
Patron of the fallen angels. Protector of the Chukulimani. The Great Circle.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
You have any idea how old that was?
Holy moly, guys, it looks good.
Indiana Jones is such an iconic character, and he means so much to so many people. Everyone here at the studio has their own indie stories and memories. Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years. He's a brilliant archaeologist, he's a charismatic everyman, he's passionate and determined. And for us, he's synonymous with adventure.
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience. Our game is all about putting you in Indy's shoes, letting you see and feel what he sees and feels. For us at Machine Games, we do that best through first person. It's the ideal perspective to bring you into the rich, exciting, and interactive world we've built. We believe that being up close and personal,
I think first person is cool for sure.
Making each action feel like your own.
Whether it's cracking your whip, solving puzzles in ancient temples, or seeing your knuckles go bloody in a fistfight, all of these moments are much more intense in first person. But we still want you to have those moments. Seeing his iconic silhouette with the hat, the whip, and so for things like cutscenes and environmental traversal, we pull the camera back for a third-person view.
Okay, so it's a blend. That's cool. I think that's really cool.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
Nice.
When our game begins, Indiana is working at Marshall College. He wakes up in the middle of the night to the sounds of a break-in and rushes to confront the thief in the college museum. The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular relic was stolen, and discovers that things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling at the strings of a mystery, and it all unravels until he has no choice but to see it through to the end, whatever the end may be.
On next plane to Rome. Stop. Need help. Stop. Meet me in Vatican. Stop. Indy.
We always talk about how clever Indiana Jones is. That had to be one of our guiding principles when we were thinking about the type of game we were making. It wouldn't be Indy if he wasn't using his wits to get through the situation. The most authentic Indiana Jones experience we can make is the one that makes you think first.
So there's going to be a lot of puzzles.
Sure, there will be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more fun, and to be honest, a more genuine indie experience by finding more clever ways to solve a problem.
We always want to be offering more solutions, whether it's trying a different path through the environment to get around enemies, observing enemy patrols and using them to your advantage, or using the tools at your disposal, like the whip.
It's an amazing global adventure, with action propelling you through your journey.
We have these really diverse environments for you to explore. Indy's journey will take him to the forgotten temples of Sukhothai, the pyramids of Egypt, the snow-peaked Himalayas, and beyond.
We look carefully at each location and the time period the game is set in, and we're trying to make it as authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game, We also had the goal of making it feel like a true cinematic Indiana Jones adventure.
One of the biggest ways to do that is with the music. John Williams is the original composer for the indie films, and we're really lucky to have found Gordy Hub, a composer who's been able to capture Williams' essence with his score for The Great Circle.
You got to get the music right. I mean, it's Indiana Jones. I feel like what makes it so special,
We also take
a lot of that
very
lies within the
movie-like
music.
approach to things like cinematics. We're very physical with our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors. Things like this help us bridge the gap. We use a lot of stunt actors. Things like this help us bridge the gap between making a game and making a movie.
And of course, our characters do a lot to help bring the world to life as well. Next to Indy, Gina is our other main protagonist. Where Indy is pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery.
Gina is an investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She's been tracking a lead for some time, and now she's found an ally in this determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Okay, then. Let's see if we can keep up.
Fine.
What do you mean if I can keep up?
We always love our villains and think we might have found our favorite one yet in Emmerich Voss. He's this intensely psychological man. He's obsessed with the human mind and manipulating it.
He's highly intelligent and the perfect foil for Indy. They're both brilliant people, compelled by their passions and obsessions, but driven down wildly different roads.
He creeps up on you and gets under your skin like he gets under Indy's skin. It's captivating.
Dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
One of our mottos for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is adventure first. But in every indie adventure, there are always those moments where he finds himself in the action.
That's been one of those balancing acts for us, and we've ended up with this sort of hybrid experience that mixes melee combat, stealth, and gunplay.
How you approach any given situation is up to you.
Dude, I'm doing a whole whip playthrough if I
Sneak
can.
around an enemy patrol, or maybe you'll just pick up a shovel and whack them on the back of their head. And when you can't use your wits, you got Indy's most iconic tool. Just like you see in the movies, one of our goals has been to make the whip as fun and multi-purposed as possible. We want it integrated into every aspect of the game.
You can use it as a traversal tool to make your way around the environment.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can use it as a distraction. And yes, you can absolutely use it in combat. Everything you'd expect from Indy's whip.
Dude, a full whip playthrough? Come on now. I've got to do that.
Key feature in our game. The spirit of discovery is so important to Indiana Jones. Obviously, there are a handful of puzzles on the main path, but a lot of the puzzles are optional and are just there for the players who want to experience them. Epic traps, small secrets, and hidden puzzles that blend right in with their surroundings.
One thing I love about our game is the level of interactivity that we have. We have this world of mystery where anything could potentially hide a secret. The more you look, the more you'll discover.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I want to thank you all for joining us for our big reveal of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Machine Games is known for creating these rollercoaster experiences with huge set pieces, surprising twists, and immersive narratives. It's exciting for us that we have been able to stay so true to the Indiana Jones franchise and create such an authentic experience while still being able to showcase what makes us us. We are making a game for everyone, whether you are very familiar with the franchise or not. Because at the heart of Indiana Jones is an incredible adventure, and I think that's something everyone wants to be part of. I'm also very excited to announce that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be coming later this year, and I cannot wait to share more soon.
Later this year, that's crazy, guys. I mean, you can obviously assume it's going to be a fall release. I wouldn't even be surprised if this game doesn't get announced until, November. but I will say it does feel, from what we've seen so far, like Indiana Jones. Now it just says 2024. It's possible that this game does get pushed back, but you know, hey, we'll see. I mean, late this year, I'm sure. That was cool, guys. That was actually, I mean, that was a lot more information than I was expecting about each of the games that we knew were going to get talked about. And we even got a surprise and, you know, a new Mana game coming to Xbox too, which is pretty cool.
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is to craft life-changing art with game-changing tech.
I truly feel like Hellblade 2 is going to be huge for sure.
Is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule. Stay happy.
Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build.
You aren't just playing as indie, you are Indiana Jones.
My name is Masaru Oyamada. 今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。
Wow, guys. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, guys, so we just got the developer direct for 2024. It's not to say that there won't be another one that gets dropped later this year, but as far as we know, this is the developer direct for, you know, for what we can expect to be releasing within the year 2024. And I have to say, even comparing last year's to this year's, it's a major improvement for Xbox. You know, I think Hellblade 2 was mentioned briefly, I want to say, at the last developer direct, but you know, it wasn't coming out this year. The fact that we got new information, we got new details about Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and we even got a specific release date is huge. I have a lot of faith in Hellblade 2. I think this game is going to be really big for not only Xbox fans, you know, PC players, but I think it's just going to be, you know, it'll be nice to see Xbox have a game on its platform that is actually really good. And I say that because if you remember this time last year, we did get Shadow dropped with Hi-Fi Rush, which was incredible. Got nominated for a number of awards at the Game Awards. But then we finally got reveals about Redfall. There was a lot of drama surrounding that game because, you know, we got a lot of details about it leading up to it. But then no one really knew when it was releasing, and then it get pushed back. And then, you know, there was a lot of drama with that. And then, of course, Starfield, another game that a lot of people were waiting for. A lot of people were curious about. No one really knew when it was coming out. It got pushed back multiple times. So yeah, there was a lot of drama with those games, and you know, they didn't even release until the later half of 2024. So I say all that to say this is a great start for Microsoft in 2024. You got Hellblade 2 releasing in May. You've got we got a surprise. It wasn't a surprise drop like we got with Hi-Fi Rush, but it was a surprise announcement that people didn't know about. They weren't expecting. I didn't know that Square Enix had any sort of relationship with Xbox, specifically in terms of making a brand new game for consoles, a brand new Mana game, Visions of Mana, coming specifically to Xbox in the summertime. I think that's going to be huge. If you spread it out, it does give off the vibe that there is something coming out throughout pretty much all throughout the year. Obviously you have, like I said, Hellblade 2. You've got Visions of Mana coming out later after that. You've got in the fall, you've got both Avowed and Aura History Untold, which will both be coming to Xbox. And then of course you have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which was also a huge reveal. Let's talk about Indiana Jones for a second, because in our predictions before the video began, we knew that Indiana Jones was going to be talked about. You know, it was in the thumbnail. We knew Machine Games has been working on Indiana Jones since, I want to say, 2022. So we knew that this game was happening. But I wasn't expecting, I was expecting some details. We got new gameplay for it, which was great. Information behind their aspirations for it, some of the finer details that are going in. I was not expecting this game to be first person. However, I will say that it looks good, all things considered. Whenever I imagine an Indiana Jones game, it's hard not to make the comparison to that of like, you know, the Nathan Drake games and Uncharted and all that, right? That's a third person game, which very much felt like a play on Indiana Jones in a way. So when they announced that an Indiana Jones game was coming, it was hard not to imagine that that was going to be a third person experience. But the fact that they're making it a first person experience, really trying to provide that immersion that you yourself are Indiana Jones, that's cool. I was not expecting that. It was a surprise for me, but the more I saw the gameplay and how they are also implementing a lot of third person perspective too, to kind of, you know, kind of feed that and satiate that hunger for fans that really wanted a third person experience, I would say is really good. Will it release in 2024? I don't know. It's hard to say. It is the only game on this list of games that was, you know, that was talked about from each of the studios that does not have a specific release date. Actually, I should change that. Only one of the games has a specific release date in Hellblade 2. It's the only game that has a specific day that it is coming out. The rest are kind of tentative timelines. You know, Avowed and R coming out in fall, Visions coming out in summer. I mean, those are like 3-month timelines in which those games could come out. And Indiana Jones just says 2024. So it could be any time in 2024. I think if they had a concrete timeline, they would have mentioned it. But I also feel like 2024 gives them the option that if they need to, they can push it back because, you know, I think it just gives a little bit more freedom for them to really decide when they want to drop this game. And it also gives them freedom to change that date. You know, kind of if they're deciding to play off of PlayStation, and if Sony has a potential big banger coming out, or if there's other big bangers, and then maybe they don't want to compete with that. And so they really want Indiana Jones to stand on its own in its own release window. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that they could have made this decision. All I will say and all I will hope for is that Indiana Jones does drop sometime this year. I was expecting 2025, to be honest with you. So the fact that they're confident that it could drop this year, it's huge. I think the game looks awesome. I think all the games that were mentioned look awesome. I'm excited and interested in Visions of Mana. Definitely looking forward to Avowed. Of course, as you guys have already heard, I'm very excited about Hellblade 2, and I think Indiana Jones is going to be good. Aura, it's a game I definitely will look a little bit more into. It's not that I'm not interested in that game. I think it's just out of a genre that I haven't really exposed myself to. So that's going to be one that I'm going to have to look into a little bit more. But overall, guys, I would say if I had to grade this Developer Direct, 5 big titles coming to Xbox sometime throughout the year 2024, all, you know, kind of appeasing to a very different audiences, you know, which I think is great. And yeah, I would say all in all, guys, I would probably give this maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I think a shadow drop would have been cool if they dropped a game just like they did with Hi-Fi Rush. I think that would have been awesome. I think with what they showed, they were strong showings, a decent amount of gameplay for each game, and some potential release windows, which is cool. So overall, I would say pretty good. 8.5 for me. I don't really know, honestly, what else they could have done to potentially make it a little bit better. I think overall it was good. I would be curious to know what you guys think, though. Were you excited about seeing any particular game? For me, like I said, Avowed, huge. Hellblade 2, huge. Indiana Jones, cannot wait for. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if there's a specific game that you're looking forward to and what your thoughts are on this Developer Direct. Did this satisfy and appease what you were expecting? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll be sure to drop this video as soon as I can, and I will see you guys in the next video.